Huh. That's a large number.
Yeah, I know I'm late, but it's only like 2 weeks since I really hit 500. And because I just didn't have any time. Because school started again for me, and I've focused my time towards school rather than my channel, because that was the most important thing to do as of now. And I know it's like that. There's gonna be no video Friday. I'm telling you this right now. I have nothing planned for Friday. No new clocks, no nothing. Because ever since I got that, that's when the newest one in the collection. But whatever. So I have just been saying, like, thank you guys so much for 530 subs. That is pretty awesome. I have never expected for the end of August, not even a year of the anniversary, away from 3 months, I think like 3 or 4 months away from my anniversary, I've reached 500 subscribers. I never thought that I would be this far in the actual time I've been doing YouTube. And with all this stuff going on with YouTube, I'm surprised nothing has happened yet. But nothing, I'm not guaranteed anything's gonna happen, but we don't know. But, like, still, thank you, everyone, for 500 subs. I still can't believe it. It's actually crazy how I don't know. Like, this is not me being surprised. This is like a big thank you to everyone. And you now know what I can say? We're halfway there to 1,000 subs. But when 1,000, I can't get monetized. I can't get paid. Blah blah blah. Just laws and stuff. So yeah, that's something. But 1,000 subscribers is an actual goal for me. For what my dream was. For all this was a dream. To like actually just show what I like love to do. Like love collecting clocks. I've had many adventures over the time of being in YouTube. A lot of lessons learned and a lot of new stuff learned from all the people in the clock community. So thank you to everyone who's in this community giving me tips and pointers on what I can helpfully do and learn more about. But for now, the rest of this video is mostly going to be updates about everything. Let's start off with this guy right here. So this is 1969 W. Hade. Not really much going on with it right now. I took it out of the movement, completely oiled it entirely, and it's just been working. I do not know what's going on with it. The owner who actually owns this is actually a family member of mine, and what they actually have been saying is that it just stops every once in a while. Like maybe there's a spring in it for the time spring right there. It just stops in random places. But I did add one thing it had was a little piece that would stop the rack from dropping down to where you would hear it. I took a spring out of it. I think it's back here. This tiny little spring, if my camera will focus. Probably not. Let me see real quick. That little spring right there. I took that off because the rack had a little piece that went like this, and there was a pin, and it would just slowly move down. So I finally moved it off so it can actually hear the rack drop, which I'll just demo it real quick. And time is 9:10. So I removed that spring, made it like loose, and so that's one thing that I fixed. It doesn't change it dramatically. It's just so you can hear it, which it's fine. And so then let's make our way over to here for this one, which is the 1980 Howard Miller. And I'm telling you it's 1980 because that is the year on this. And what's funny is the movement that was originally in it, which is right here, was a 1980s movement. And the one that's in it right now is an exact 1980 movement. And I actually did a lot of work to this. For what this had in it was it didn't have good like hammer lifters that would lift up the hammers. It were low. So I took the ones that were from the old movement and put them on this one. And I also changed out the chime barrel. Believe it or not, it was plastic on the new movement I got, and it was metal on the old one I had. So I swapped that over to different gears and metal one because in my eyes I see it more like reliable. Even though for this one right here, it's had a plastic one, and it's 84 years old from 77 if I'm saying my years correctly. But it's actually worked just fine and no issues there. So with this one, it's more of a happy little accident. I would say that everything worked out. The only thing I really had to change to this was to move the minute hand arbor from the square. I had to move it like over a little bit to actually get it to line up, because normally if it was here it would chime here rather than here on the new movement. So I had to move it like physically with the key and the arbor to move it down to actually get it to work. And after this, it's been running pretty reliably. But one thing that I'm not really happy with is on some other models I've seen to where this whole thing, you can just lift it up like this. Mine just had it to where the glass lifts up, and that's how you get fingerprints all over it. And for when I looked on these for eBay, I got this for $60 off of Facebook Marketplace, which is a very, very good steal for this thing. Because the purchase movement I bought for it was $35. That was lower than what I paid for the clock. And I looked on these on eBay. They're going for more than $110 if they're in good condition. And this thing was in mint condition. It was really, really of a good condition, I'll say that. But one thing I was always looking at is like there were all these marks on there, like this Linden has. W. Hayde Clark. I have no idea who that name was. It's probably from like a person who owned that or something. But with this one, no markings on it at all. You can't even tell it was owned by anyone, by a previous owner. And what actually is something to notice is you see the little grommets in there, what we call it, is like this one didn't have any. So what I did is I actually stole them off the Hamilton, and what's on the Hamilton right now is the dial from the 5395. So that's one thing I've had to do to this, to where I just put it on for aesthetic reasons, and it makes it look so much better, to be honest. I'm really happy with that. Enough ranting about that. Let's move on to this guy right here. So this is now the 96 F Thomas, and to be honest, we're working just fine. One thing I'm so much more happy about it for the Kinegar movement is it's in beat. So much better than a hurling movement could ever be in beat. If it would say in beat. But there's another thing I would have to talk about. This is the request for the Winchester chimes and a Tommy Riley 6-note chime. I have no idea if I'm ever gonna get to them, because I've always just been so much busier with school and all that. I don't know if I can get to them at all. And being honest, I could do the Winchester chime, if I'm saying it correctly. I have no idea. But the Tommy Riley 6-note chime, I don't think I can actually fulfill that request. I'm so sorry. It's not that I can't do it because I lack time. It's because I can't do it, like, physically. It's kind of too hard for me to actually do it, to be honest. I'm very sorry about that, and I just can't do it. So I will respond to the comment, but I can't do it. And to be honest, with school, that's more priority comes first. I'm hanging in there very slowly. But then let's talk about what's going right here. I have found one at a flea market that is like 35 minutes away from me. What's going on currently is I can't say much, but the owner who owns this clock has not been paying rent to the place where it's staying at. So the owners are not sure if the man is still alive or if he's deceased. We're not sure. But I looked at the clock, and guess what? For one of those smaller clocks that's like as tall as me is, $140. Well, actually, I think above $140. Kind of a ripoff, to be honest, when I paid for this one and for this one for above $100. And these two are so much nicer than from this one. It just plays Westminster. It's really nice. But to be honest, I think $140 is a ripoff, but there's parts in the bottom of it. It doesn't chime all correctly. The strike's messed up. And also, it's just cosmetically has some issues. Like, it's dusty, it's got scratches all over. So I think I'm going to try to lower the price to 120, see if that's fine. But I don't know when I'll be able to ever talk to the owner about it, or until the owners at the place that we're staying at are decided, hey, it's finally time to get rid of it. Let's contact you and get that. I gave them my contact information, but I don't know what's going to happen. So for now, it could take up to a month, 3 months, maybe even a year. I don't know. So this spot's just going to stay blank for as it is, because then it will just go right here to where it is. And you see how the St. Thomas Cathedral is right there? And it's not right there. I'm not sure what's going to happen to this corner. Like, either what I had a debate on is, do I remove all this and then I have space for maybe, hey, if I want to get another one, maybe have 4 of them. Like, I could put like 2 here maybe, or I can just leave them as is, because it's just a nice space. But whatever, it's what will happen. But now let's move on to that one and that one, starting with this one. So the Gustav is back. I finally got the taper pin out, and you can see right here it's being held in with a push pin. Now this is only temporary, but the reason why I am never really want to send this in for repairs is it's basically going to cost me a fortune to do everything I want to be fixed on this clock. I want the glass to be put back on. I want the little piece that holds this in, that clicks this in. I want that back. I want the 2 magnets that are stuck inside the bezel to be removed. Don't ask me why they're there. But, darn it. Oh well, but it's a temporary thing, but it works. Just I still have to regulate it. It's too fast as it is right now, so I actually have to take it off and bring it back. But for now, it's back to life, sounding as good as it ever was, I guess. One of my favorite clocks in my collection, one of the oldest clocks in my collection as well, from 1920s. This thing was built to last. That's what all my family members say. This thing was built to last. Unlike what this thing was. This thing's cheap wood, like all that. That is good quality wood. The good quality movement that will never die. And it still has the issues to where glass is missing out, and that's sharp. And the 2 hammer lifters, they will break off eventually. Just I never want to send this in repairs because it's going to cost me like maybe more than $1,000 to do everything I want to it. But with this, let's move on to this guy down here. Edit, and this is for Snow Serenity Takes real quick. I never actually explained how I was able to get the taper pin out. So here's one thing I did which worked, is the point method where tapping it out, it did work, but one thing is that it was stuck between both sides, and I couldn't tell which side was larger or smaller. So here's what I did. File. And I filed it for the little taper, which thankfully it was a softer metal than what this little piece was right here. Right there. So I had to file it right there, and once it was filed in enough, I just tapped it out. But this is something I will never do to another clock. That was only something I did in a desperate situation. It was like my last resort that I actually had to do, but I never actually did it to another clock. But anyways, that's how I was able to get it out, so back to the rest of it. And finally, we now move on to the 1927 and 1930 New Haven the Orleans model. Been working completely fine lately. Sounds just as nice. Now here's 10 p.m. So everything's been fine with this, or as my luck continues on with this clock, nothing's been going right with this, to be honest. It keeps time just fine. It plays the strike just fine. Just it has an issue every once in a while to where it will skip past its stopping point for the 15-minute mark and will continue on to the 30-minute mark even though it's at the 15. So then it will play 45 here, it will stop here, and then it will repeat the cycle. And then every once in a while it just fixes itself, like as it's doing right now. If I was to play 15, it would skip over to 30 and then stop, and then do it all over again. But, whatever, it runs, so I'm happy. And for the Midland down here, let's see if I can do it again. Not really much going on here, it's just an empty case. But I still have the parts from this one that was originally in it. And everything's falling out on it. Like everything is. So I'm not really sure what's gonna happen. Mostly for parts and stuff, but yeah, that's mostly everything I want to say. But still, yet again, everyone, thank you so much for 530 subscribers. I still can't believe it, of how all of this has happened. How just by starting on November 15th and my first video released on November 21st, I still can't believe that I'm here right now on YouTube doing this. And I'm this far. I never thought that I would be this far. I thought that maybe I would be at like 89 subscribers or something. I never thought my channel would take off. I never thought it would. Oh my god. I'm just like... I'm just surprised, basically. I'm just surprised on how this is all going on. But, yeah. I don't know when I'm going to be doing another collection video soon. Might be end of September, maybe beginning of October, I don't know. I know I might do one around the 1 year anniversary, but I do know I am going to do one at the end of the year, for around December. So maybe look for maybe one in October, maybe one in December, I don't know. And then that 1 year anniversary video will be on November 15th. Look out for that. And, so, mostly, that's all I really have to say. So, to everyone, thank you so much for 500 subscribers. It means so much to me. And with that, thank you everyone for watching.